So for this level, your loadout will be a plasma rifle and a Vibblade. We're going to do an unarmed start at the beginning, and I should go ahead and clarify that the most important thing that you need to know about this level is that we know absolutely nothing about this level, really. It's one of the most confusing ones that there seems to be very little consistency to. On the other side of this door, there will be 5 guards, 2 to your right, 2 to your left, and 1 right in front of you. You want to pull out your plasma rifle as you run to the bridge to your right and try to take out as many of these guards as you can while running there. There will be a ton of guards at that center tower over there. You'll notice to the left of the bridge, there's one peeking out from cover. There's actually about 4 or 5 right there. If you fire a little bit above the cover, you should hit them somehow. I'm not sure how that works, but the plasma is pretty generous on this level, it feels like. As you can tell, I didn't fire at them while I was running across the bridge, which might have lost me a bit of time. So I'd recommend trying to take them all out before you get to the center part right here. Now, once you take out these 2 guards in front of this room, the room will contain 5 guards, 3 female guards with revolvers, and then 2 other guards, one of them being heavily armored. You'll have to shoot them twice with the plasma rifle. This might be different depending on your enemy layout. We're not exactly sure. Now, ideally, what you're going to do is you're going to want to do this puzzle and then roll through like as it's blowing up. But you'll notice that I start getting shot from behind, and I get the feeling when I was doing this run that the guard was going to end up killing Jack. I just had this weird feeling, so I turned around and shot him. So that probably lost me a bit of time too. Up here, there's going to be about 6 guards running towards you. I take every single one of them out in this run. That might have saved me time, it might not have. Sometimes Jack will get caught up trying to kill these specific guards, so that's why I took them out. But I suppose you could take a couple out and hope you get lucky and Jack just doesn't prioritize killing them. It's again, this level's very confusing and not a lot is known about it.
Joe, can you get to the main tower? The gate controls are in there. Joe, you're inside Datadyne's hangar complex. Area's packed with hovercraft. You don't want them on your tail now.
Now there's going to be a ton of enemies firing at you as you make your way to open the hangar door. And you'll notice in all my runs, I'm very stubborn about using the Vibblade to deflect or using the Plasma to cloak. I try to get lucky and just hope I don't get shot, but that's with that method, you're just going to be grinding runs for a lot longer. So it's definitely a lot safer to use the Vibblade to deflect the bullets here.
Take them out.
Me running through like that, not getting hit by any bullet was pretty insane. It's all about grinding it until you just happen to not get shot that part. Again, it's not necessary. Vibblade doesn't slow you down that much. I'm just very stubborn.
Joe,
Next, we'll make our way back to the hovercraft and hope that Jack is waiting there to continue the level with us. Now right here, there's a bit of variation in the route. You can go down the stairs and roll off and keep running. That might be faster. I always felt like it was faster to just run off onto these boxes and then roll off the boxes. I'm not exactly sure on which one's faster. So this is what I meant by I'm very stubborn about using the Viblade. If I were to have used the Viblade right here, I would have saved time and would have got to the hovercraft faster. But I was convinced that they would just stop shooting me eventually, and as you can tell, that's not happening. The hovercraft travels much slower on land, obviously, so you want to turn right as quickly as possible once you get past those crates to get on the water as soon as you can. Now, this is where I'll get into the hovercraft itself. It controls very strangely due to the physics of the engines on the back. When they're moving around a lot, you can kind of get turned a little bit. It's really hard to explain. It's honestly probably just something you have to practice a lot till you get a feel of how to control the hovercraft. So making turns like the one up here while going full speed is kind of difficult. You can't reload checkpoints in individual level runs, but obviously when practicing this level and the end segment of it, you can reload the last checkpoint so that you can get the hovercraft movement down and also get the hang of the ending segments of this level, because you'll be relying on Jack to fire at the correct spots, and it's good to know where to shoot and how to react when you notice that Jack's prioritizing shooting different targets.
Okay.
Up here, we need to destroy these 5 devices that are powering the radar tower. Hopefully, Jack will have started looking forward by this point so that he can take out the one furthest away. If he hasn't, just start moving towards the docks where the other devices are and take out the ones that, he's not even close to looking at.
Satellite flypasts ID'd a radar.
Now, when he's firing at this one, um, or any of them, when you're moving the hovercraft, it obviously is going to screw up his aiming. For me, I try to just not be moving left to right as I'm getting closer to the docks so that he'll shoot it and I don't have to stop dead in my tracks. But if you're struggling with getting him to hit it, you can hold the left trigger down and the hovercraft will basically brake and stay completely stationary. You'll lose time, obviously, but it's better to get these radar towers out of the way as quickly as possible. Where Jack is going to be facing right here is dependent on whether or not he was firing at the very first device you saw, and also how fast he blew it up before you made your way over here. Ideally, he's looking right, just like he is now, so that we can get out and take out the 2 devices to the left. If he wasn't looking that way or completely turned to your left, just take out the ones that he is facing the opposite way of. There's supposed to be a device in front of me. This might be something that changes depending on enemy layout. I'm not sure. But what also might have happened is that one of the guards that was firing at me missed and shot one of the explosive barrels that are beside the device and destroyed it. In which case, that's just very lucky, and just hope that happens. Otherwise, you'll fire at the barrels beside it and then turn over and then fire at the other device to your right. Once we've destroyed the two devices on our left, hopefully Jack will have destroyed the one to the right behind the wall, and if he doesn't get caught up on any enemies, he will probably shoot this one in the center. I attempt here to fire at it and miss horribly. Thankfully, he immediately fires at it after I miss.
Radar is down. Let's get the hell out of there time.
Once the radar tower is destroyed, we will make our way to the end of the level. I'll actually be switching to a different run up here because I don't take an optimal path to the end. Once you've drove off the dock, you're going to make a right, and there's going to be some tight turns to make up here. I'm going to go ahead and switch to the other run because I actually went straight here, which is much slower. So in this run, Deep Darkness actually goes around the dock, which is slower than driving through the center of it. But even considering that, since he takes the right path here to get to the tunnel, he still ends up being ahead of me if you compared our runs side by side.
Es hora de salir volando. La torreta del aerodeslizador es suficientemente potente como para destruir las antenas que alimentan el radar.
I know that I usually only cover the most optimal route in my tutorials, but in this level, this part, like which route you're going to take right here, is entirely dependent on how much Jack has been shot and how damaged your hovercraft is. It's pretty easy to tell if your hovercraft's too damaged because if it's sparking constantly, then you're not going to make it through the most optimal path. With Jack, that's just, you just got to be confident or have paid attention to how much he was getting attacked and damaged. But assuming everything goes your way, you will take this path. It's important to copy my movements there because if you're going through the explosives as quickly as possible, you are going to run into one no matter what. So if you run in between two of them and then start going right so that you run one of the engines into an explosive, your hovercraft won't be bounced in the air. And so you'll maintain the same exact speed while going through them. If your hovercraft is about to blow up, or you think Jack has taken too much damage, or you just don't want to risk anything happening while going through the mines, you will take this route. It's slower, but you avoid every mine using it. From here, you just head to the end of the tunnel, and that'll be the end of this level and the end of my 8th tutorial on Perfect Dark Zero individual level runs. Thanks for watching.